What's up, everybody? Today episode on The Ladder will be all about 10 issues leaders are facing today. And I'm going to give you some solutions, right? I'm just not going to leave you out there with the problem. I ain't just tell you the issue. I'm going to tell you the solution as well. So stay tuned for all of that. And if you wait till the end, I might have a little bonus. You'll have to wait till the end to see. But before we jump into that, I am Justin Strickland. I am the host of the Ladder Podcast. Why do we exist? We exist, I'm so glad you asked, so that we can help leaders become the best version of themselves. It's hard out here, y'all. Trying to develop, trying to be your best self, trying to encourage teams and run organizations. And I see you, and I want to impact you and help you. And so that's what the Ladder is about. And I want to say, if you haven't subscribed, why not? Go ahead, man. It don't cost you nothing. Bing. It just take one click, y'all. Go ahead and subscribe for me. Like the video. And if not, if I have to earn your like, I'm for it. But just stick around and give me a chance. All right, let's jump into it today. 10 issues in leadership today and how to solve them. Number one, frustrations over people and time. So a lot of leaders are saying, hey, I don't got the right people. I don't have enough time. And it's just across different areas, businesses, industry. My people aren't trained well, or they're not the right temperament or right personality, and I don't have the time to do what I'm supposed to be doing. Bet. That's your issue. All right, this is how you solve it. One, tackle your onboarding. If you're a leader and you have any influence on hiring, you should influence hiring. Tackle your onboarding process and procedure. Make it take longer to get the right people than quicker to get any people, okay? That's one thing you can do right away. Just change your procedures and processes. Really take time to hire the right people, because if this is your frustration, you know getting the right people in the right spot will help you solve it. And in time, make realistic expectations. Middle management, tell them, hey, you want this, but this is what we got. We got to meet in the middle. If you're upper management, talk to your people. Create realistic time frames to get things done so that you can remove kind of those frustrations over time. All right, number two, time management. And this goes with the first time you're managing people. So different than like having issues with time, first time managing people. A lot of leaders, because of the old ways, are put in the leadership roles because they're the only option, or because they're the internal option, and they're first time managers. So a lot of our frustration is with people who this is their first time ever managing a team, and they don't have the experience or the tools necessary to do so effectively right now. So the solution to this is patience. We have to give people opportunities. We can't just keep recycling the same leader. We'll keep getting the same result. And honestly, we'll get less return on our investment. That's just how it works. And so we have to get new leaders in positions where they haven't done this before, but you just gotta tell them to be patient, and you gotta let them to communicate, hey, I need patience from you all. Don't act like you know it all. Don't act like you got it all figured out. Tell your people, hey, I'm new, and I can use some patience from you, okay? So that's number two. Number three, deficient operational processes. This is a huge thing for leaders that are new leaders in an organization that's old. And so organizations that have tradition or have procedures that they've been doing since the 60s or 80s or the 99 to 2000, the procedures be archaic. They don't be working no more. But no one challenges the status quo. You have to challenge the status quo. Leaders, it is your job to say, this is where we are, this is where we want to be. These are the processes that are holding us up from getting there. But this is the thing, as leaders, you can't just say, these are the processes that are keeping us from getting there. You have to say, these are the processes that are keeping us from getting there, and these are the changes we can make that will help us be there quicker in a more efficient manner, okay? So you have to have both. As leaders, you can identify the processes that are wrong, but you also have to bring a solution to the table or encourage others to come up with a solution. It might be you identify the process, but you're new. So this process ain't working. Bring your team together. What are your ideals on how we can do this differently? That's leadership. You don't have to be the one to come up with the solution all the time, but you better get the right people to the table so you can come up with something, all right? Number four, team performance. A lot of leaders just aren't getting what they want to get out their team. And I think that right now, I think this is a COVID hangover, is where before COVID, especially the boomers, they was gonna give you everything And then whatever you ain't asked for, they're going to get that too. Millennials was going to meet all your expectations and do a little bit more, hopefully they get a promotion. Gen Zers are like, bro, what else? What I got to do to stay worked here? Like, what else? What all I got to do to stay employed? It's a different ideology, right? Different identity. Not to say you can't still get a ton out of your team with all the different generations, right? Because right now we got 3 generations in the workplace. First time ever in U.S. history. But what I'm saying is you can find ways to optimize the performance based on who you have. So as a leader, if you're struggling with team performance, you got to listen better. It's on you. All wins and losses come back to the leader. You have to become an active listener to your consumers and to your staff and employees that you're leading and see how you can make it better. It's on you to change that. Yes, I know that's a frustration. That's an issue with leadership, but that's your issue and you got to figure that out. Number 5, personal improvement. A lot of leaders get stagnant once they get into leadership roles. And so they take a leadership role, and once they get there, they feel like because of what they used to get there, that's all they'll need to stay there, and they become stagnant. They don't seek out resources like the elevated 12-week higher ed workshop coaching course offered by yours truly. They don't seek out stuff like that to grow. They don't read books about leadership. They don't take continuing education or professional development opportunities because they feel like they have enough, or the organization doesn't offer it. They don't have it in the budget line where you can go to a conference, and they don't have it in the budget line where you can take a 12-week course called Elevated that's designed for higher ed coaching, group and one-on-one. They don't provide resources for you to do those kind of things. And what's happening is when you don't have those resources, you just stop looking for them. And so this one is for both. Leaders, you have to seek out professional opportunities, and you have to influence or strongly encourage your organization to provide funding for those opportunities, because you being a better leader helps everybody. If you're a better leader, you'll get more out your team, you'll get better results, they'll be more efficient, your profit margins will increase, your employee satisfaction will go up, retention will go up. There's only benefits from you developing as a leader personally, and so you got to encourage your organization to do so. And organizations, you have to do so. Find the money, find the time to develop your people. Number 6, personal limitations. Sometimes we just don't know everything. Sometimes we just don't have the personality trait for everybody. Sometimes it's just we in over our head, right? And this is on the organization, and it's on the leader too. When you are developing leaders and bringing them up and saying, hey, I want you to lead this team or want you to lead this project, you have to choose those who can accomplish the goal that you're setting before them. Because we all are human, regardless of what Marvel makes us think. We all have things that we cannot do. We can't, and we just can't do them. And so acknowledging your personal limitations can keep you out of the situation. Communicating your personal limitations to your team can keep them from being frustrated with you, thinking you can do something that you can't do. And then also knowing the limitations of your team allows you to put them in the best situation possible as you select them for projects and opportunities. All right. Number 7, business challenges. Sometimes we're in organizations or in industries that are failing. And as leaders, that can be tough. Because it'd be like, this is an organization that gave me a chance. This is the industry that we were doing so well in. And when we have business challenges, they bleed over into our personal lives. They bleed over into our relationships, into our team management. And so we have to be able to separate the today from the future in a way that allows us to be great today, even if the future doesn't look well, doesn't look good. And you can take the future projections, you can try to change them, or you just communicate clearly, hey guys, industry's changing. This is where we are. This is how long we got, and this is what we're gonna do with that time. All right, those are 2 options, and just know that like, business ebbs and flows. Don't get too high, don't get too low, but recognize when it's time to move on. All right, number 8 is ineffectiveness. The things you're doing ain't working, all right? This can be frustrating if you follow a leader who keep doing stuff that don't work, right? And I play sports. You ever play for a coach who keep calling plays that don't work? Oh, it sucks. Football is the worst too. Say you got a coach and they like, hey, I go to high school football games. That's my thing this year. I'm trying to support the youth. So I'm going to high school football game. Man, I went to a game, and I won't say the teams because they might have families watching, right? Score was 6-0, 8-0. And when I tell you they ran the football 75 times between the two of them, bro, just try to throw. Just try to. And I'm like, bro, it's not effective. What you doing not working. And so as a leader, if it ain't working, you gotta change. You have to. You can't just keep doing the same things like, nope, this is the best practices. This is what worked for my daddy. It worked for my granddaddy. It worked for my great granddaddy. You gotta be flexible and be able to be adaptive if you're being ineffective. Okay. Number 9, influence. This is a big thing that's challenging leadership today is the opportunity to influence others. And one of the things that's so interesting is we're in the age where we literally have a job called influencers, right? Where you get paid to influence. But what you'll discover is a lot of them aren't leaders. And so leaders are struggling to find a way to influence their people and their team. And you just gotta do the work. It's all about respect, right? It's about talent. It's about charisma. There are a lot of things you can do to become a better influencer of your circle. You just got to do the work, right? You got to do the work. Read the book, How to Gain Friends and Influence People. It's a great book, right? Written by Andrew Carnegie. It's a wonderful book. Resource. I'll be giving y'all resources. But it'll teach you how to influence people. It was written a long time ago, and it still works. People still read it, and it still helps them, okay? And number 10, competing priorities. We only got a certain amount of time, and we're trying to figure out what's most important. And a lot of times, what you think is important isn't important to your team, or might not be important to the consumer. And so you got to figure that out. You have to find a way to Venn diagram everything, main priority, main thing for everybody, and keep it the main thing, because that's your job as a leader. And so I know that it's not easy being a leader today. I know that it is not also impossible. And so I think that if you are able to take an inventory of where you are as a leader, hopefully tell me which one of these issues you're dealing with as a leader too. Drop a comment. Which one of the 10 are you dealing with? And maybe Nate can put them on the screen. 1, 2, I don't know. He's good at that stuff. And so the leadership issues that we're dealing with aren't impossible hurdles. If you ever watch the Olympics, there are hurdles on the track. You just jump over them, all right? And the best ones jump over them and keep speed. And so that's a fire analogy, by the way. Come on now, Holy Ghost. And so I will bonus. I want to drop a bonus. If you have a team, right, and you are watching the podcast, and you're like, hey, we are dealing with some of these things. Can you come out and help us? I have a workshop. It's called Elevated Workshop. If you watch the podcast, send me an email, right, and say, hey, I watched the podcast. I want you to come out, and I will give you a huge discount on the workshop. So if you made it to the end and you got a team, I do professional development. I come out on Saturdays, Sundays, whatever today. I travel. I will give you a huge discount on the workshop. And I will come out and teach on some of these issues and give you some of these solutions live so that your people can ask questions and we can walk through them. And because I want to help you all, okay? I want to help you all. And so that is my bonus for today. I hope somebody take advantage of it. If not, we keep working. I hope you got something today. Drop a comment. Which of the 10 is ones like, hey, I've seen this in my life and this is what's worked, or thank you, I needed a solution for that because I'm dealing with that right now. As always, it's your host, Justin Strickland. Man, I love y'all. I'm so grateful to be here before you and hang out with you just for a little bit of your day. And until next time, I'm going to see y'all again, man. Peace.